Welcome back to another episode of The Quest for Self. I'm your host, Allie. Lately, I've been feeling really off. Not broken, just heavy. It's been a mixture of stress, sadness, and all these stirred up emotions I've been holding. One of my really good friends was recently diagnosed with cancer, and for days, that was all I could think about. I'd cry, I'd feel overwhelmed, I'd spiral. It was like I couldn't carry anything else. But life doesn't pause, does it? There's work, interviews, managing properties, renting out my cars, trying to show up in my current role. And sometimes it just feels like it's all way too much. Like if I stop to take a breath, I'm failing. For a while, I was doing things just to distract myself. I'd go out not because I wanted to, but because I didn't want to sit with everything that was happening. But this past week, something shifted. Slowly, I've started to feel like myself again. Not fully, but little by little. And I wanted to go out, not to escape, but because I felt like maybe I was ready to feel joy again. And so I did. Some friends and I decided to go out, but the night didn't go exactly how I imagined. Honestly, it turned into something that really threw me off. It was one of those nights where the energy just felt off, and the rudeness from other women caught me off guard. It wasn't just one moment, it was three, all in one night. We tried to get into one place, and I couldn't find the QR code to get in. My friend said hi to the girl working the door, and she didn't even acknowledge her. Just that face, the kind that says, "I don't see you." And the energy that came with it really threw me off. Then we went somewhere else. And before we could even ask a question, another girl cut us off with a dismissive, "We're closed." No warmth, no explanation, just coldness. Then the third place. Same thing. My friends and I had gone there a few weeks ago and got in no problem. This time, the girl at the front door said, "No QR code, no going in," and literally closed a rope in our faces. It just hit me. Back-to-back moments of being dismissed, talked down to, ignored, and all by other women. And I'll be honest, it really upset me. Because normally, I have really good experiences when I go out. I smile, I talk to people, I feel welcomed. But that night, it felt like the world was cold. And it made me ask myself, why is it like this? Why do some women act like there's only space for one of us? And I kept thinking, what if just one of those moments had gone differently? What if the girl at the first place had smiled and said, "Hey, no worries, take your time"? What if the second one had offered a simple, "Sorry, we're not open just yet, but we'll be open in an hour or so"? Or what if the third one would have bothered to give us an option of paying and going in? Would the night have changed completely? Maybe not, but maybe it would have softened something. Maybe I would have walked away feeling a little lighter, not heavier. Because that's the ripple effect of kindness. One moment, one woman choosing softness. It doesn't fix everything, but it shifts something. There's something about rejection from other women that hits totally different. Maybe it's because we expect men to not get it. But with women, there's a silent hope that we'll understand each other. So when that connection isn't there, well, it stings. So let's dive deeper into this. Why are women like this? Honestly, that's my natural first thought. But maybe the better question is, why do some women carry so much unprocessed tension that they end up projecting it onto other women? We live in a world that pits us against each other, where beauty, success, and worth are framed like limited resources. No wonder some of us act like there's only room for one. Maybe there's insecurity. Maybe there's exhaustion. Maybe some women are stuck in the same loop, burnt out, anxious, overwhelmed. But that doesn't excuse any of it, which leads me to reframing all of the situations. This wasn't about me. It was about them, their internal mess, their unresolved stuff. But I've also had moments, beautiful, unexpected ones, where I did feel deeply seen by other women. Like this one time recently, I was out at a restaurant and I'd just come out of the bathroom. I wasn't feeling particularly amazing that night, just kind of neutral. And this woman who I didn't know at all looked at me and said, "Oh my God, I love your makeup." That was it. Just a genuine, unfiltered compliment. No agenda, no weird energy, just one woman taking a second to uplift another. And you know what? It made my night. It made me feel seen. That moment sparked a little conversation and a big feeling. A feeling of warmth, of sisterhood, of we're not so alone after all. So the truth is, I wasn't fully myself that night either. I didn't smile. I didn't say the lighthearted, kind things I'd normally say. And that's okay. I'm human. I'm still healing, still crawling out of my sadness, still regaining my spark. But next time, I'll try to meet all of that coldness with curiosity, dismissiveness with grace, not for them, but for me, because I know who I am, and I want to always be a woman who brings light, even when the room is dim. That night, I came home feeling thrown off, but I had one moment of peace waiting for me. I curled up with my dog Mia, my anchor. I pulled out the sofa bed and we slept together, just the two of us. No noise, no crowds, no energy to fend off, just comfort. I journaled a little, talked to my real friends, laughed about the absurdity of it all, and I realized this is what home feels like. This is what real connection looks like. Moments like that bring me back to myself. Moments like that remind me I'm not alone and that I'm not the only one trying to find joy in the mess. What I've learned to really help me through moments like these? Affirmations. Your kindness is not weakness, it's your power. I can't control how others show up, but I can choose how I do. My joy is mine to cultivate. It doesn't depend on strangers at the door. And it's okay to have off days. They don't undo who I am. And even in the middle of pressure, heartbreak, and stress, I am still deserving of peace. So I want you to think about this. Take a moment and think about, when was the last time you felt unseen or dismissed by someone? How did you respond? And how do you want to respond next time? Now that you're wiser, more grounded, and a little more in tune with who you truly are. So let's look at the bigger picture. This isn't about QR codes or bar lines or girls with bad attitudes. This is about how we, as women, have been trained to see each other as competition instead of community. But there's room for all of us. There's room for softness, for support, for sisterhood. There's room to fumble through sadness and still be someone's light. There's room to not always be okay and still show up with grace. So this week, what if you looked for just one woman to truly see? Here's your challenge. Whether it's a compliment, a smile, or just not looking away, be intentional just once and notice how it feels. Because maybe that moment, the one you offer, becomes the one she remembers. The one that shifts something. The one that reminds her of who she really is. And as for you, keep choosing softness. Keep choosing presence. Because every time you do, you're becoming the woman you've been looking for. Because every step you take leads you to a better version of yourself. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of The Quest for Self. If you enjoyed listening to this episode, like, follow, subscribe, comment, and share. It would mean the world. Also, don't forget to follow us on social media, The Quest for Self.